Hello and welcome to the Network News. I am Olajide Bello. Musa Abakar will be keeping us up to speed with the latest in the world of business. Musa, what do you have for us this night?
Nigeria's inflation eases to 16.05% in October as equities market begins the week in red.
All right, many thanks, Musa. Meanwhile, Ayo Deji, market is a sport update. Ayo, what next after the Super Eagles defeat from Congo?
Well, it's a new charge by President Bola Tinubu for them to re-energize and go for the AFCON glory.
Many thanks, Aya. Remember, you can watch this broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. Our President Bola Tinubu has declared his administration's resolve to provide the institutional and material support that will enable Nigerian courts perform their duties with dignity, confidence, and efficiency. The president believes such support is necessary to renew Nigerians' hope in the judiciary. It was at the opening session of the 2025 All Nigeria Judges Conference by the National Judicial Institute in Abuja. State House correspondent Musbah Dan Wahab reports.
The chief of the executives and president of a nation in the midst of men and women of the bench, regarded as the pillar of rule of law and democracy. They are here hoping to reinforce a confident judiciary once again. But these are days when the common man is apparently nursing doubt in his supposed last hope. There are public concerns about delays in the dispensation, integrity, and access to justice. President Bola Tinubu recognizes the judiciary for standing firm as the stabilizing force of national life, but equally acknowledges the growing unfavorable perception of the public on the judiciary.
No amount of reform can succeed if integrity is compromised. Justice must never be for sale. The bench must never become a sanctuary for compromise. Corruption in any form or any arm of government weakens the nation, but corruption in judiciary destroys it to the core. When justice is compromised, government loses its integrity and democracy loses its foundation.
And now that the members of the bench seek to strengthen their confidence, President Bola Tinubu offers his administration support towards improving their working and living conditions for a much better administration of justice that will in turn earn public trust and confidence.
The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary must remain united by purpose, even when separated by function. My administration believes that a judiciary that is strong in capacity, efficient in process, and uncompromising in integrity is not merely desirable, it is indispensable to the survival of our democracy and prosperity of our nation. We cannot build a just society without a fearless and functional judiciary. In this period, we have resolved to provide institutional and material support that will enable our courts to perform their duties with dignity, confidence, and efficiency.
Chief Justice of Nigeria, Kudirat Kekereekun, equally recognizes the challenges confronting the judiciary and believes the discourse here will contribute to the ongoing reform in the sector.
We must be the example we seek to inspire. The robe we wear must never be a cloak for impropriety, but a symbol of incorruptible honor. With collective will, renewed commitment, and divine guidance, we shall succeed in restoring the dignity of our noble profession.
As the judges of the superior courts in Nigeria brainstorm here, President Tinubu expects transformative resolutions that will ensure Nigeria's judiciary continues to stand as the conscience of a nation and guardian of its democracy. In Abuja, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
And away from the judiciary, President Bola Tinubu has affirmed that various reforms targeted at strengthening the economy and relevant institutions will secure the future for Nigerian youth and empower them with skills that will make them globally competitive. The president, who received the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward, at the State House this Monday, noted that youth remain central to the repositioning of the economy, and their ownership of the key reforms will lead Nigeria into a great future. He acknowledges youth development as the central focus at the G20 summit coming up later this week, and said Nigeria is strengthening the economy for the sake of youth. President Tinubu added that his reforms are about growth and prosperity for the nation, which takes into full consideration demography and skills development. He cited the Education Loan Fund instituted by his administration to ensure that no youth drops out of his education pursuit because of financial challenge. President Tinubu noted that the reform spans various sectors of the economy with a larger vision of promoting harmony among all stakeholders and ensure long-term synergy to meet targets. Prince Edward, as chairman of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation, was in Abuja to brief the president about the international award that is scheduled to take place in Lagos. Nigerian Minister of Youth Development Ayodele Olawande speaks on the benefits of the event.
This program is one thing that aligns with the president's vision about scaling the youth, picking out our best, thousands of our best in NYC, the former young people, bringing out the intelligence in them, the skills in them, to match it up, show them to the world, preach them to the world, and let us have the set of Nigerian people, young people that are proud of themselves and can really go to any length in the world. And that is why the organization, the body, has been working with Nigeria Ministry of Education, Youth Development, information to bring all these young people, and it's going to happen in Lagos, and everybody to connect with a lot of innovators.
Nigeria is set for more intra-African trade relations. This follows the inauguration of the Customs Pact, the Partnership for African Cooperation in Trade. Vice President Kashim Shettima at the opening ceremony commended the Nigeria Customs Service for hosting the meeting, which is expected to bring a shared mission into focus with the theme, Breaking Barriers, Building Bridges. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
More than 400 participants from 28 African countries and other stakeholders here attending this customs partnership for African cooperation in trade, capturing a commitment to removing obstacles, strengthening cooperation, and expanding channels for legitimate trade across Africa.
In the first half of 2025, Nigeria's trade with other African countries reached an all-time high of 4.82 trillion, which is an increase of more than 600 billion naira compared with the previous year. This is a clear signal of strengthening regional trade momentum. Within West Africa specifically, Nigeria's export to ECOWAS countries have climbed significantly, reflecting our growing role as a hub for intra-continental trade and value chain.
And it's for this reason that the WCO is here standing with you. To support the future state that very much relies on the ability to manage volumes of trade, access to markets, and predictability for businesses. Things that Customs manages every day at borders in every corner of the globe.
It's clear demonstration of our collective political will and also decisive action that Africa has taken to rid itself of the vestiges of colonialism.
Here, Nigeria and the African continent stakeholders are reaffirming commitments to deepen cooperation that protects the economy, supports traders and economic operators, enhances intra-African trade, and strengthens the foundation of continental growth.
Our vision must translate from conference halls to the daily experiences of traders manufacturers, logistic operators, and farmers. Nigeria remains firmly committed, structurally and operationally, to building an Africa that trades by design, where integration is practical, measurable, and effective. Our ambition is simple: a continent where borders facilitate opportunities rather than inhibit them.
Nigeria, being the host, has pledged enhanced strategic engagements to continue building bridges that secures a more connected and prosperous African future. From the State House, Brahman Jibrila, NTA News.
And on a rather sad note, armed bandits have abducted 25 students of Government Day Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga, in Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, killing the vice principal. Authorities say efforts are currently underway to rescue the abducted students and restore calm to the community. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa reports.
According to local sources, the assailant invaded the school in the early hours of the morning, shooting sporadically. In the chaos, 2 staff of the school were reportedly gunned down while trying to protect the student.
As I peeped through my door, I saw people everywhere surrounding it, begging me to open it for them.
Governor Nasir Idris, who visited the scene, condemned the act in strong terms, describing it as barbaric and unacceptable.
We also assured them that let them have confidence in us, and we'll make sure that the security agencies will do everything possible to do the needful.
Security agencies have since launched a manhunt to apprehend the perpetrators and uncover the abducted student. Community members are urged to provide useful information to aid ongoing investigations. In Maga of Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa.
Meanwhile, President Tinubu condemns the attack of students and the killings of an official at the government girls' secondary school, Maga, Kebbi State, and direct security agencies to locate, rescue, and safely return the students and to ensure that the perpetrators face justice. A statement by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says the federal government expresses deep concern and solidarity with the families of the female students abducted. The federal government assures Nigerians that strengthening internal security remains a top priority. The federal government urges the military, police and intelligence agencies to be more effective in preventing these attacks and respond with greater speed and precision whenever threats arise, as the government is reinforcing cooperation with regional partners through ECOWAS and African Union and the multinational joint task force to secure the borders and disrupt terrorist and criminal networks. The National President, Christian Association of Nigeria, Archbishop Daniel Okon, wants adherents of various religions to ensure harmonious living for rapid socio-economic development of the country. This was during the 4th quarterly meeting of the National Executive Council in Jos. Ijoma Zomina reports.
The 40th quarterly meeting attracted CAN officials from across the country to Jos to discuss issues of peace and unity among leaders and adherents of various religions. The meeting expressed concern over insecurity in parts of the country and urged stakeholders to redouble efforts in restoring lasting peace for development.
We encourage each and every one of us who is committed to establish peace in our country to continue, because we have no other alternative. Nigeria is our country. We do not have any other country. So let us continue to work hard to make sure that we stand against anything that will frighten people.
I'm expecting that the aftermath of this meeting, this August meeting, will be that the blessing of God will break forth upon Plateau like never before, and God will bring us closer to stability and peace.
We are trying to correct the anomalies that have happened. We don't want it to continue. We don't want our image to be painted black. We want to live in peace and harmony so that development can happen.
The officials, as part of their assignments, visited the 10 commandments where they prayed for peace and stability in Plateau State and the country. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
You're watching the Network News. More reports when we return. Thanks for being there. A 6-day crusade by Christ's Compassion to the rural world tagged Port Harcourt Selfless Love has been scheduled to hold between 24th and 29th of November 2025 at the Adokia Amesia Marker Stadium, Gruta, Port Harcourt. Convener of the program, Senior Pastor Kingsway International Matthew Ashimolowo, made the announcement at a media briefing in Lagos. Diana Ajali reports.
The 6-day event will commence with a free medical outreach and distribution of relief materials to worshippers. Distribution of items. Uplifting millions of souls who have almost given up in life due to one situation or the other with his kind gesture. While spreading the good news of Jesus Christ, Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo's individual project is born out of God's vision and directive to reach out to the underprivileged citizens in need.
In effect, Monday night, we're ready to give people the coupon with which they will collect things on Tuesday. And when they come on Tuesday, the ushers, the crowd control will direct them.
From Ikorodu, Lagos to Ibadan, this time, the Christ Compassion to Rural World Train has moved to Port Harcourt, the treasure base of the nation, where 500 million naira worth of drugs will be distributed with 80,000 patients expected to be treated. And as usual, hundreds of doctors will be on ground to carry out different surgeries for the eyes, goiter, and many more.
During the night crusades, we are believing God for miracles and healings and deliverances. For those who missed out the miracle, they will get the medicine. The warming will start even from the day of distribution. As parents come to collect rice, beans, gari, give their child the warmer.
150 vehicles will also be on ground to convey worshippers and beneficiaries of the available services from every nook and cranny of Port Harcourt to the venue. The 6-day program will be featuring great men of God from within and outside Nigeria. It is the desire of Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo that the CCRW initiative will be replicated across states of the Federation. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And to political party matters, former governor of Kogi State, Idris Wada, has formally defected to the All Progressives Congress with hundreds of his supporters. Vice President Kashim Shettima and the National Chairman of All Progressives Congress, Professor Nentawe Wada, received the defectors at the Muhammadu Buhari Square, Lokoja. Ajibola Christopher reports.
Those who defected are former governor of Kogi State, Idris Wada, former SDP governorship candidate in the last governorship elections, Sam Notia Benemi, serving PDP members in the State House of Assembly representing Bassa and Ogorimagongo constituency, Imam Umar, former Speaker, Kogi State House of Assembly, among others. The APC national chairman, who welcomed the defectors, presented the party flag to them.
Let me tell you, their coming has shown that in Kogi State, opposition has been crushed to the ground.
President of Nigeria, represented by his vice, Kashim Shettima, commends the decisions of the decampees.
Today, this formal reception, His Excellency former Governor Idris Wada joins the All Progressive Congress along with other distinguished leaders and supporters. His decision is not a small one. It is an alignment with a broader national vision. It is a recognition that Nigeria needs large and stable platforms to confront the challenge before us.
Responding on behalf of the Dekampi, former governor of Kogi State, Idris Wada, expresses gratitude for crossing over to the All Progressive Congress.
The reasons for crossing over are numerous, but there is no time for me to explain them to you.
Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
And meanwhile, the newly elected factional national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, is asking for police protection for the party's National Working Committee ahead of its inaugural meeting scheduled for Tuesday, 18th November 2025. Turaki led some members of the NWC on a visit to the FCT Police Command in Abuja, citing a conflicting notice of a National Executive Committee, NEC and Board of Trustees BOT meeting allegedly issued by a former National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The two factions of the People's Democratic Party had separately scheduled meetings for this Tuesday at the national headquarters of the party in Abuja. A recipe for crisis. Reason the Turaki-led NWC visited the FCT Police Command. The meeting held behind closed door with the Commissioner of Police. After the meeting, Turaki described the notice as an attempt to cause confusion, noting that it was slated for the same date, time and venue.
As leaders, more than any other person, we want peace to be sustained. This democracy that our leaders, our forefathers, had sacrificed their lives to bring about to this level, we shall be ready to also give our own life to sustain this democracy.
He emphasized that those issuing the parallel notice of meeting were no longer members of the party, recalling that their expulsion was ratified at the recent National Convention in Ibadan. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And away from political party matters, the House of Representatives Committee on University Education rounds off its oversight in the South-South geopolitical zone, advising vice-chancellors of universities to desist from violating the Constitution and financial regulations, but instead align with the present administration's policy on value reorientation. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali has details.
Examining the reports of the Federal University of Tueke in Bayelsa State, committee members classified it as incomplete as it relates to budget performance and funds utilization.
In 2023 is 1,101,347,500 naira. Is that?
Yes.
You utilize 1,047,567 naira 072.34.
There is no need, because I have emphasized, I read out, you know these things. It's not, you are not doing it out of ignorance of the law. You are doing it, it's deliberate now. You know that what you did is wrong.
We have a lot of oversight given what we are seeing in this document, and I want to request if we can withdraw parts of the document and resubmit, if that will be pleasing to the committee.
Rounding off the oversight at the University of Benin, the management admitted some infractions in the submission.
The total IGR from January to December, where is it? You can refer me to it. It's not there. You understand now? So at the end of that, there must be summary of all these things.
The committee will in the coming days submit its findings from the oversight at the plenary. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Some prominent and distinguished Nigerians who have demonstrated exceptional leadership qualities, foster national pride, uplift the vulnerable communities, defend freedom of expression and inspire generations to build a stronger and more united Africa in their unique ways have been recognized for their outstanding contributions. It was at the 2025 Nnamdi Azikiwe Prize, known as the Zik Prize. Diana Ajale reports that Governors Peter Mba of Enugu, Ademola Adeleke of Osun State emerged best in good governance, while First Lady of Kwara State, Ambassador Olufolake Abdulrazak, clinched the award for humanitarian leadership.
It's not just a leader. He was a philosopher king whose Pan-African vision transcended borders, languages, and tribes. May this Zik Prize ignite a fire across Africa.
Established in 1995 with the aim of promoting visionary leadership and to commemorate Nigeria's first president, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, a man that stood as a major driving force behind the country's independence. The Zik Prize is one of Nigeria's prestigious awards designed for selected prominent individuals and organizations with exceptional qualities.
We gather to celebrate excellence, service, and vision. These are virtues that defined Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the great Zik of Africa.
Among the 2025 award recipients are Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State and Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State, who both got the Good Governance Award.
The little work that I do in financial markets, for it to be noticed and rewarded as such, I am most humbled.
An award in the name of the Great Zik of Africa is a very big award, and I am very grateful.
I want to thank the organizers of this event for counting His Excellency worthy of this award.
This would in no small measure drive the passion to continue to make positive impact and contributions to the development of our people, our country, and the continent at large.
Public Policy Research and Analysis Center is a private sector initiative conceived as a non-political and non-governmental institution that serves as an international forum. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu celebrates wife of Kwara State Governor Ambassador Olufolake Abdulrazak for receiving the 2024-2025 prestigious Zik Prize in Humanitarian Services Leadership. The First Lady describes the honor as a true testament to the versatility of Ambassador Olufolake's efforts in public service and compassion towards uplifting women, children and vulnerable groups across Kwara State, and for her years of dedicated public service in foreign missions. She prays that the recognition strengthens her resolve as she continues her transformative work to uplift humanity. The Umar Namadi administration continues its aggressive push for rural transformation in Jigawa State, with major road, power and other infrastructure projects taking shape in Taura local government area. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
Umar Namadi has flagged off the construction of the 26-kilometer Shuazo to Zangomaji Road project, awarded at the cost of 4.5 billion naira. The road, which links several hard-to-reach agrarian communities, forms part of the 200 kilometers of feeder roads awarded in 2025 by the Namadi administration at a combined cost of 55 billion naira, with Taura alone accounting for 10.9 billion naira.
This feeder road has been constructed so as to allow access to people at the rural communities so that they can be able to transport their farm produce to the nearest market.
In a major boost to rural electrification, the governor also inaugurated electricity supply to 104 towns and villages in Taura local government, effectively ending nearly 20 years of blackout in the area. The governor further commissioned a befitting hospital, a mosque and a newly constructed palace for the district heads of Kuala. Governor Umar Namadi, who received a warm reception from large crowds, rounded off his visit with a town hall meeting where he highlighted his administration's development achievements in Taura. Community leaders presented him with a document outlining priority areas for future development, which he assured them will be carefully reviewed and implemented. The visit ended with the governor receiving gifts from youth and elders groups in appreciation of his administration's developmental strides in the area. In Duty, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Let's take another break. The news continues in a moment. Many thanks for being there. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, has expressed Nigeria's position on the implementation of the WHO Framework Convention on the Tobacco Control at the 11th session of the Conference of Parties in Geneva. The minister noted that since the last meeting, Nigeria has made remarkable progress in the regulation of tobacco, distribution and consumption, particularly in the areas of use, prevention and monitoring policies. He hinted that Nigeria has just concluded data collection and analysis for the second round of the Global Adult Tobacco Survey, GATS, known as the Nigeria GATS 2025. The findings indicate a notable decline in the daily use of tobacco products among adults compared to the first round conducted in 2012. This positive trend, Dr. Salako says, reflects the effectiveness of sustained multi-sectoral interventions, enforcement of tobacco control laws, regulations and public education efforts. He also emphasizes that Nigeria has equally developed and implementing various strategic policies, including National Tobacco Control Strategic Plan of Action 2024 to 2028, National Tobacco Control Communication Strategy 2024 to 2028, and the National Tobacco Control Enforcement Plan 2024 to 2028. Dr. Salako asserted that Nigeria has advanced the implementation of the Article 19 of the Convention on Liability, which encourages parties to hold the tobacco industry legally and financially accountable for actions that undermine public health. Road safety experts across Africa are calling on governments to give more attention to road safety infrastructure, prioritize speed management and implement strong action against road traffic crashes in the continent. This was at the International Road Crash Victim Africa Conference in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi reports that the event was organized by the Federal Road Safety Corps and the Kwabdas Road Safety Demand.
Road traffic crash remains the #1 cause of death worldwide, with overspeeding identified as the major cause. At this International Road Crash Victims Africa Conference, it was revealed that 95% of roads in Africa fail to provide acceptable level of service for pedestrians.
The challenge of clients like New York is to have efficient and effective utilization of the existing roads by constructing more of walkways and cycling lanes for the cyclists, bicycles, and also the pedestrians to utilize.
Africa's road crash victims are not alone. Their voices matter, their rights matter, their lives matter.
But who are the victims of these crashes? 78.8% are male, and they're all usually under 50, between 30 and 40, our most productive workforce.
They entreat state governments in Nigeria to dedicate about 1.5 to 3% of their budgets to road safety infrastructure.
I'm pretty confident that to a large extent we are going to solve the problem of bike.
Kaduna, Niger, Jigawa, Ogun and Oyo states were pinpointed as states with deadliest road traffic crashes. The theme of the conference is gathering the world in Africa for road crash victims. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Now let's do some business with Musa Abubakar. Musa.
Thank you, Olajide. Nigeria's headline inflation has continued its downward trend, easing to 16.05% year-on-year in October 2025 from 18.02% in September. Muplan Dakok reports that this marks the 7th consecutive month of decline.
From the National Bureau of Statistics shows that headline inflation fell by 1.96% to 16.05% in October 2025. On a year-on-year basis, the October inflation rate stands at 17.82%, lower than 33.88% recorded in October 2024. However, on a month-on-month basis, inflation rose slightly to 0.93%, up by 0.21% from 0.72% recorded in September. Food inflation also showed relief, with the average annual rate dropping to 13.12% in October, 26.04% lower than the rate recorded in October 2024. The National Bureau of Statistics attributes the sharp decline in annual food inflation largely to the change in the base year. Muplang Dakok, NTN.
The federal government, in collaboration with the Pan-African Alliance of Small and Medium Industries, have assembled researchers from across Africa with a view to building sustainable and quality-driven cassava industries on the continent. This was at a conference in Abuja where stakeholders believe Africa will not industrialize on the back of commodities alone, but on value addition.
The future of Africa's cassava industry is bright.
but it depends on the decisions we make today.
The time for Africa to transform cassava from subsistence crop into a continental industrial powerhouse is now.
In Nigeria, it's a golden era. We are ready to fund any production activity because that is the surest banker of generating growth and contributing to economic prosperity.
And to the capital market, Nigeria's equities market opened the week on a softer note as the Nigerian exchange NGX ended the first weekday of trading in negative territory despite active market participation. Investors exchanged 388.17 million shares valued at 31.14 billion naira across 28,485 deals, bringing the overall market capitalization to 93.2 trillion naira. Market sentiment was mixed, with a handful of small and mid-cap stocks lifting the gainers chart. Sovereign Trust Insurance topped the table with a strong 9.97% gain to close at 3 naira 20 kobo, while NCR Nigeria and Tantalizers followed with 9.96% and 9.81%. However, heavyweights in the industrial and conglomerate sectors dragged the market southward. Dangote Cement led the losers with a steep 10% decline to 534 naira 60 kobo, while Nigerian Enamel Wear fell by 10%. Transcorp Nigeria shed 4.66% and ICO Insurance dipped 4.11%, sealing the market's negative close. That's the business segment for today. The news continues after the break.
Glad to know you're still there now. Over to Ayo Deji Makede for Sport Update. Ayo.
Thanks so much, Olajide. President Bola Tinubu hails the Super Eagles for their determination and spirited performance in the World Cup playoffs, despite the heartbreaking penalty shootout loss to the Democratic Republic of Congo in Morocco. President Tinubu acknowledged the pain of missing the FIFA World Cup for the second consecutive time, emphasizing the importance of unity and support for the team as they navigate this difficult moment. He challenged the team to channel their resilience into reclaiming Nigeria's lost football glory at the Africa Cup of Nations scheduled for December 2025 to January 2026 in Morocco. Similarly, the Nigeria Football Federation has apologized to President Bola Tinubu and devoted fans of Nigerian football for the disappointing performance at the playoffs. Elsewhere, Nigeria's 1987 African Junior Basketball champions reunited after decades, gathering not only to remember their historic victory, but to honor the discipline, sacrifice, and shared dream that shaped their legacies. The class of 87, who left their footprints in different sectors of Nigeria's development, turned up for an exhibition match, which heralded a night of recognition. The celebrations rekindled the spirit of unity and excellence that defined their journey through the years.
Basketball is an interesting sport. You know, it's very interesting, it's fun to play. So that's what we are trying to do, get kids involved in sports.
We want to use the Abuja group to leverage ourselves as a collective to then do more for basketball as one.
All right, let's go quickly to the world of boxing, where Anthony Joshua is set to face YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul in a heavyweight match on December 19 in Miami. The boxing event, taking place at the Casilla Center, will feature 8 3-minute rounds. Former world heavyweight champion Joshua has not competed since he was stopped by fellow Brit Daniel Dubois at Wembley in September 2024 during their IBF title fight. Jake Paul, who has experienced a loss to Tommy Fury, has recorded 12 victories in his professional boxing career. And that's your sports. It's back to Olajide.
Many thanks, Ayodeji Makede, and that concludes the network news. Many thanks for being a part of it. I am Olajide Bello.